The unpaid balance method. The unpaid balance method can be used to find the current month's finance charge on a credit card account. The first step in using this method is to use I equals PRT to find the finance charge of last month's balance. Now we need to make note that T in this case is going to be equal to 1/12. That's because we're finding the finance charge for 1 month, and there's 1 out of 12 months in a year. So T is 1/12. The next step is to calculate the current principal. You find the current principal by taking the prior month's balance, adding in the finance charge for the last month, then adding any purchases that you made on the credit card, and subtracting any returns, and also subtracting any payments that you made. This will give us the amount or the principal that we currently owe on the credit card. Lastly, we're going to use the principal that we found and I equals PRT to calculate the new finance charge. Remember, T in this case will also equal 1/12. Let's look at some examples. Using the unpaid balance method, find the current month's finance charge on a credit card account having the following transactions. Here we're given last month's balance, the last payment made, the annual interest rate, purchases, and returns. The first step is to use I equals PRT to find the finance charge for last month's balance. So I wanted to highlight last month's balance because when we use I equals PRT, the principal is going to be last month's balance. It's also important to note that T in this case is going to be 1/12 because we're calculating the month's finance charge and there is 1 month out of a year. That's because T always equals years, so we have to write 1/12 to represent 1 month out of the year. First, we're going to complete step 1. We're going to use I equals PRT to find the charge for last month's balance. So I is just the interest, which is also the finance charge. So I equals the principal, which is going to be last month's balance. So that's $435 times the interest rate, which is 21%. If we write that as a decimal, it's 0.21 times T, which is 1/12, since it's just 1 month out of the year. We can multiply the first two numbers together. 435 times 0.21 equals 91.35. And we'll multiply that by 1/12. Now when we multiply fractions, we just multiply the top numbers together and then the bottom numbers together. So this would be 91.35 times 1, which is the same as 91.35, over 12. So to do this on our calculator, we can just take 91.35 and divide it by 12. And we'll get a decimal of 7.6125. Now the interest or the finance charge is a monetary value, so we're going to round to 2 decimal places. We'll look at the number in the third place, which is a 2, so that tells me that the number to the left of it is going to stay as is. The interest or the finance charge for last month's balance is $7.61. And we'll use that value in step 2. Step 2 wants us to calculate the current principal. The formula for doing so is written on the screen. The principal equals the prior month's balance plus last month's finance charge plus any purchases that were made minus any returns and then minus any payments. So P is going to equal the prior month's balance, which was $435, plus last month's finance charge, which was found in step 1, that's $7.61, plus purchases, which is $219, minus the returns, which was $118, minus payment, which was $290. So 435 plus 7.61 plus 219 minus 118 minus 290 equals 253.61 or $253.61. So that is now the current principal. The last step tells us to use the principal found in step 2 and I equals PRT to calculate the new finance charge. So again, we're going to calculate the new finance charge. So this is I, and that equals the principal, which is now $253.61 times the interest rate, which was 21% or 0.21 times T, which is 1/12. 253.61 times 0.21 is 53.2581. Now we'll take that number and multiply it by 1/12, which remember is the same thing as just 53.2581 divided by 12. And when we do that calculation, we have 4.43815. Again, we want to round to 2 decimal places. There's an 8 in the 3rd decimal spot, so that tells me that the 3 is going to round up. So my final answer for the new finance charge is $4.44. Here we'll type in $4.44.